In this example, I need to multiply and then simplify when I have the square root of 10 times the quantity the square root of 2 plus the square root of 15. So in this problem, I'm going to have to multiply square roots, so this might be a good time to review the product rule for radicals that says if I have the nth root of a times the nth root of b, it equals the nth root of a times b. Well, in our case, what's the index that we're too efficient to write? Well, in our case, n equals 2. And if n equals 2, I'm just going to have the square root of a times the square root of b equals the square root of a times b. So now let's look at our problem. What I'm going to have to do is distribute my square root of 10 into the parentheses. So I'm going to have the square root of 10 times the square root of 2 plus the square root of 10 times the square root of 15. Normally we don't write this step out, but I just wanted to show you all the details why everything works. Now I'm going to use the product rule for radicals. So the square root of 10 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 10 times 2 is 20. Plus multiplying two square roots again, so I'm going to get the square root of 10 times the square root of 15 is the square root of 10 times 15, which is 150. All that's left to do now is to simplify my answer. Can we simplify the square root of 20? Well, we need to factor 20, and I'm going to pick 4 times 5, because 4 is a perfect square, so I'm going to leave it alone, and 5 is a prime number. So what I'm going to do is use the product rule of radicals going in the other direction that says the square root of 20 is going to equal the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Plus, now I have to simplify the square root of 150. So I need to factor 150, and there's lots of different ways of doing it. Let's say 10 times 15. Neither of which are perfect squares, so keep factoring. 10 is 2 times 5, and 15 is 5 times 3. So now I have all my prime factors. I'm going to group the 5 times 5 as 25, and the remaining number is going to be 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to write this as the square root of 25 times the square root of 6. Just double check. What is 6 times 25? 150. Okay, so now what's the square root of 4? 2 times the square root of 5 cannot be simplified. So my first term is 2 times the square root of 5 plus the square root of 25 is 5 times the square root of 6. These are unlike terms. I can't combine them, so that is my answer.